Ooh, this is going to be very difficult. It is a very touchy situation, but some people tend to be drawn towards it, and some are kind of meh. Apple um, cider, basically, the actual concept has been around for a long time. There was apples that were just inedible, could not do anything with them, and someone was like, "Let me make a drink out of them." Here we are. Very smart, very resourceful, and there are plenty of trees to choose from. A lot of companies started using other apples, but the main one was crab apples, which started the whole thing. Crab apples were just so sour, so tart, but once you fermented them and then drew the juice from them and fermented it, it was very great. Applejack actually was an accident. They stored apples and they would ferment, and at wintertime hit and it would concentrate the juice. Just know if you have actual Applejack, it is delicious. But I can't remember the name of the chemical, but it's a very specific chemical. Too much of it is in the Applejack, and it will give you a more intense hangover. So the benefit to this process of cider is not having that same hangover. This one's a cranberry one, so obviously it's a holiday one. I got a little late, but cranberries, there's not too much of a nutritional value to them, but they were vital to filling the food up for Native Americans, adding something extra, giving it some flavor. They would actually make the tribe that really used, I can't remember the name of the tribe, but they would make cakes with it that set together. So the benefit is if you had this cake, you can eat that while you're moving forward. You got energy, you got sugar, you got everything you needed. The other tribes had to hunt. When you go on a hunt, regardless if you're for or against meat, you have to put time and energy to the hunt. So if your mission was to fight the other tribe, you couldn't approach them, you couldn't sneak up on, you couldn't do anything until you had your meal. And it was vital that you caught your meal and you ate it and you got the energy you needed. Because if you go in there hungry and hurting, if they're already fed, if they have plenty of starches and their brain's functioning better, they have a great advantage on you. So that was a very big deal back in the day. So cranberries, regardless of people say, is a great flavor contributor, very classic. It should always be there. Um, this is apple and cranberry together. And so what I'm hoping is to help guide on this one. My focus was beers, but there's plenty of beverages now, and it keeps expanding and expanding. So the main thing I hear from people, they're not big on dry ciders. And then the divide is regular or carbonated, and it can naturally have some bubbles to it. So I'm gonna do my best to describe the acidity, the dryness, and the bubbles. So if you're on the fence, if you're just like, I'm not having a good time, I'm drinking this, I really don't want it, just, and it also gives to these companies. There's some companies that are still new, they're still young, but they're doing great work. So Austin East Ciders, I got to go to them here in Austin. Very great little area. It's actually next to a brewery. And they have a little former train area. It's just it looks like a big brick house. It's pretty big. It's a lot of stone. There's a lot of beautiful weddings out there, but it's no longer functional last I checked. So here you go. You're always gonna get a beautiful golden color. This one has a slight red tinge to it because of the cranberry, which is a beautiful thing. And I definitely get that beautiful apple juice smell, and the cranberry tang just kicks in. There we go. So, number one, very fizzy. It's lighter than Topo Chico. It's lighter than Austin Rain, because that one's a very light. It's like around there. It's very light carbonated. I like my strong carbonation sometimes, but on certain drinks, I enjoy the light carbonation. This is very light and refreshing. The cranberry lends a tartness. So you taste the cranberry, but it's not sweet. It goes straight into a very deep acidic berry tart flavor. So obviously the point of this is if you're not into the tart, if you're not into the dry, and if you're not into the carbonated, this is what this offers. To me, it's very pleasant. I enjoy sweets. I love sweets. I'm sweet tooth like crazy. But I just don't like sweet drinks if they're alcohol based. It's a bad combination. I've tried it before. It's never appealed to me. Chocolate milk, love it. Strawberry milk, great. Put some liquor in it and call it tequila rose. Don't do it. Don't do it. But this is more dry, tart, crisp, appley, like apple juice, but a little more in the fermented area with a clean kick of cranberry. So I see this as a good casual hangout, pace yourself kind of deal. But if you're just sensitive, you just not sensitive about it. Just if your taste buds get very astringent, tons, a lot of things going on, don't do it. But if you're like, it's not good, it's not what I'm hoping for, and it helps you pace yourself, by all means, enjoy the party. Don't think you gotta have this. I had to learn to break away. Just I'm gonna have fun all night long, no matter what. Enjoy yourself. Make great memories. And it's nice to have a cocktail. It's nice to have a drink. It's nice to have a great, 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 great. And if this is for you, good. If it's not, move on. But in the meantime, still have fun. Still hang out. Still be casual. Be social. Do all that stuff. So here you go. Here's that on Austin East Ciders. Honestly, they do a very good marriage of a lot of things. They have semi-sweet, but they do have a lot of dry, but they all have a light carbonation. And I think it's beautiful. It's perfect. It's perfect for me. So hopefully that describes it for you and you want to try it. If it gets you curious enough to try it, go for it. And then that's the only way you know if you want it or not. And so hopefully from here you have great options, great choices, and a variety of things to have and hang out and enjoy with your friends and family. So there you go. You have a good night and be safe.